boy Third Degree here. We're going to be discussing, oh Lord, I'm even rushing around. Okay, we're going to be discussing communication. Is communication enough? But anywho, I think you're frozen.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're frozen. But
Let me try this.
okay. Oops, let me get the chat on. Uh-oh. Well, discussing about, let's see. Okay, there you are.
Yeah,
All right. So you want to give an intro, introduce yourself to the audience.
yeah. I hear an echo.
Uh-oh. I don't
Let's
hear
see.
it on my end.
Let me see what I might check. Oh, okay, I know. But yeah, I go by the name of Third Degree. Live in effect with Amber D.
In the place to be.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you have the whole setup. I have to get my microphone and all that. I just have lights.
Yeah.
I need to get the whole setup. Uh-oh. Seeing there we go. Wardrobe malfunction. There we go. Okay. So how have
Yeah,
you
but
been?
I've been all right. How about you?
Been all right. All right. Hanging in there, trying to get more active here on YouTube Live. I try and be more active with TikTok and YouTube, just to promote myself and help people to get a feel of who I am. So if they're looking for a life coach, they can get a feel of my personality and how it would be to work with me. So
Right.
just promoting.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Right. Yeah. So, what is your spill on communication? A lot of people
Uh,
say that's all you need, but it's more to it.
as far as my spill on communication, I feel like it's definitely important.
Hmm.
Um, I think a lot of times people will have failed relationships simply for the fact that they don't communicate.
Hmm.
So, what are your thoughts?
Well, I was in a relationship a while back where we communicated a lot. We communicated often, but even though we would have, long talks, well, I was laying everything out there. He was still holding on to a lot of information that was, I'm sure, very important to our relationship. And then, like the things I was communicating to him, it just seemed like it fell on deaf ears. Like he heard me, he would respond in conversation, but there was no action behind it. Now I'm hearing
Right.
that. And then, I got tired of communicating and it falling on deaf ears. So I left the relationship. And then I think about a year later, he says, I can't get you off my mind. Let's sit down and talk. And I'm like, yo, it's too late, and he wanted to tell me everything then. And I'm like, no, you should have told me all that when I was there. You should have told me all that before you lost me. Because, once I'm gone, I'm gone. There's no coming back.
So, you saying that it's basically like a thing of, yeah, I guess you don't know a good thing until it's gone type of ordeal?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it just Yeah, basically. But I just felt like even though I communicated, I let him know what I needed from him. That wasn't enough because he didn't follow through. He said, "Oh, I hear you. I understand exactly what you need," but didn't care to, give or at least, try and work it out, compromise or what have you.
Right. So when you say that you guys basically he called to try to work it out, you weren't receptive to it.
Nah, it was a year after the breakup.
Oh,
We
okay.
we lived together. We had a home together. If I had to pack my kids up and move, don't come calling a year later saying, "Okay, now I'm ready to talk about those things." It's like
Mm,
a year later.
right.
It was just too much
I
time.
mean, playing advocate like I normally do on mine.
Giving your three
I mean,
cents.
giving my 3 cent. Um, I think as far as when it comes to men, it takes us a while to kind of formulate, maybe articulate, or maybe even try to put things in perspective. Sometimes when you're caught in the moment, I mean, it's a thing of you're battling emotion, you're battling pride. You get what I'm saying? And so after a while, I mean, some people do become regretful. They become more informative with themselves. But sometimes, you like you said, it just might be a little too late.
Yeah, yeah, because it was a 3-year relationship, so it was like 2.5 years of talking. So it wasn't just one or two conversations. It was like chance on chance on chance, and so much time, you know, that went by.
So, what was your breaking point in the relationship?
Um, it was just saying that, I keep talking, and let's see, okay, after the first conversation, about 6 months, I said, you know what, I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. And
Mm,
I started to become, more distant from him and more unhappy. And I just felt like I'm not gonna be, stuck with someone and be unhappy and be miserable, you
right.
know. Oh shoot. And then like my son, he was a teenager at the time, my oldest, and he had even came to me and said, "You know what, mom, I don't feel this guy loves you." And
Wow.
he said, "I'm sorry, I don't want to hurt your feelings and tell you that." And I said, "No, you're not hurting my feelings because I see it myself, you know." But I said, I'm trying to work things out, but I see what's going on. My eyes aren't closed. I said, and I am planning on moving forward because he's not changing. He had even tried to, propose, and I just said, I'll try, but
Propose? Like, what do you mean?
propose
Like, how
marriage.
did that go?
Yeah, he proposed marriage, and I said, I'll try. 3 months later, I said, here, take your ring back because I can't,
Hmm.
do it. I can't be locked in with someone who, doesn't hear me. You hear the words, but you're not hearing me, and you're not making any steps toward making it happen. So
Right. So, did he have any complaints towards you, or was there anything that he asked you to work on?
no, because I was holding things down. Like when we got together, we moved in together, and he said we'll split everything down the middle. We split the rent down the middle. I was covering everything else, and he said, "Oh, this is just temporary." And I'm like, dude, okay, you keep saying temporary. I've been doing this for 2 years. When are you going to start paying more? So then he started, giving me half for the utilities, and he got a promotion. So then he would even, a couple of times he had said, here's some, pocket change, go buy yourself something nice. But he had also promised that it would be we would have a date night every week, unless we had a weekend trip planned, because we would go on weekend trips. So to save up for the weekend trips for maybe a month, we wouldn't have that date night because that money would go towards the trip. No problem. But then all that stopped. The date nights, the weekend trips, all that stuff stopped. And he
So
was working.
you're basically saying that he got comfortable.
Yeah, yeah. And I just felt like, man, because I was cooking, cleaning, doing the laundry, and paying more than my share. Then I finally said, you know what, I'm not doing your laundry anymore. You know, because I feel like he wants like the trophy wife without the ring. And then once he gave me the ring, I'm just like, okay, but you know, there's got to be more to it than just this. What am I getting out of it? Because I would cook dinner, and when I cooked dinner, I prepared his lunch for the following day for when he went to
Mm,
work. So it's like I was doing everything a wife did, but I wasn't getting anything in return. Just sleeping next to a warm body. That's basically all I was getting.
right.
So it's
So he
like,
wasn't receptive to anything that you were doing.
no, it was just thanks, yeah, yeah. you know, he
So
was
when
just.
did you start to notice the turn?
I think it was about 6 months to a year in.
Normally that's where it happens.
Yeah,
At 6 months, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, oh man, it's so many things that are coming ahead. But my thing is, so he never had anything that he asked you to improve, or he never came to you and said, "Hey, this is what I'm feeling." Just no communication at all.
No, I mean we would talk, but I don't really think he had very many complaints because I was holding everything down.
Hmm.
All he had to do was come home, wash his behind, and eat the dinner I prepared, and go to bed.
So what did he say was the deal when he tried to win you back?
It didn't even get that far. He had sent
Oh
me some
wow.
little meme, and I was like, "What is this? Stop playing." He's like, "Oh, I'm not playing. I miss you. I want you back. I can't stop thinking about you." I said, "Well, you need to learn to stop,"
Right.
because I'm like, it's been a year.
Well, to be fair, one of the things that I learned, especially in like counseling, is that we can always say that this person did, and we never actually take accountability for what we do because even within a relationship, everything takes two.
Hmm.
So the lack of communication, especially on his part, is definitely what was driving you crazy because he wasn't feeling attentive. But there had to have been something that he was feeling towards you to make him stop. Either he just got complacent, or maybe there was something else that was going on. And I think that wasn't the fair part because he didn't share what was going on internally with him.
Right,
So that's why I was
right.
asking, did he say anything like afterwards?
No, no, um, no. I think he kind of like when he realized like, oh, this is really over. I think he kind of shut down,
Right.
and then that was that. I don't think he believed me until he noticed I started packing my stuff, and I was like, "Look, this lease is over. I'm leaving. So make sure you get your ducks in order."
Well, and what did he say? How did that
Nothing,
go?
nothing. He didn't even say anything. It was just
There was no baby, don't go, please don't leave.
nah,
Nothing. He just said, all
nah. It
right.
was just like, so this is what we're doing. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be unhappy. I'm not gonna be sitting here talking for nothing. So,
Right. So were the signs there in the beginning? Was it complete like facade, and then 6 months later, then you started to notice the turn?
yeah, I started noticing the turn later on because like everything was good. Like I was telling my mom, like, hey, there's no way I'm leaving him. Like he would have to like really, really mess around or something. But like we had it good. Like I was happy. We had a nice place. We would go out a lot. We would hang out with his dad and the dad's girlfriend.
Hmm.
So I mean, he got along with my boys good. My family liked him. So like everything was good.
Right.
It's-
Go ahead.
So we have a comment here. Says, "Do you
Where you see
think
the comments at?
I don't know. I don't know how it looks on your screen. I got him over here. I don't know if you see chat somewhere in there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it says, "Do you think dating a younger man would work better? Younger generation guys are more in tune with women than eight genera- generation X."
X.
Well, I've dated younger. I've dated up to like 14 years younger, but my experience with younger guys, their communication is off too, because that's the topic is really communication. They don't want to tell you that they basically just want to see what it's like to roll around in the bed with an older woman. Um, so I've dealt with some that lie about that, and then I've dealt with some that want things that I can't give them, like kids. Like I'm hysterectomy done, all that good stuff. So some still want kids. So like I don't really care about age necessarily, but I'm just in a different position in life than most younger men, because I do see that a lot of younger men still want either more kids or a kid, and I'm a dundada in that department. And some still want to, get out there, because if you think about it, like me, I had married in my 20s, divorced by my 30s. So a lot of these guys that were married and then divorced in their 30s, they're trying to relive the teenage and 20 years again. They want to get out there, they want to have their fun. They're not ready to settle down. So I don't know. I've come across some younger guys that kind of, are in a good place mentally, but not all are. I don't know.
uh,
Go
I
ahead.
think. Well, I can't really necessarily answer that because I don't date younger guys. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm a dude who's that dated older women. So I mean, truthfully, I don't think it necessarily depends on age. It just depends on the person.
Hmm.
Whether they can be real with themselves. Because if you can't be real with yourself, you can't be real with anybody else. That's rule
Exactly.
number one. So I mean, even at a younger age, I knew what it was that I wanted, and I know I wasn't trying to settle down, nor was I trying to lead anybody on. So I'm honest from the gate. So you're either gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. We can either do this or we're not gonna do this.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It just really just depends on the person.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with that too. Because there's younger that are on my level, then there's younger that aren't, and then there's even older. Like scrolling through TikTok, there's a man in his 70s. I think he said he's like 77, 71, something like that. He looks like he's in his 40s. I mean, he looks
Wow.
damn good, but he's on there. Oh, send me your cash app. I'm gonna be the sugar daddy. So there's some old folks that are really young minded. So yeah,
I mean,
I really
that's not
don't
even
think it's.
young minded. That's just
Oh
corny.
wait, here your boy's jumping on. Let me. Hey, how's it going?
What's going on, my beautiful people?
What's up, man? What's up?
Man, another day in the life. What y'all talking about this evening?
We're talking about communication. Is it enough?
First off, I want to the people watching. This is my co-host, my partner in the Drop Your 3 Cent podcast. You know what I'm saying? So we drop our 3 cent, our thoughts, views, and opinions on a lot of matters. So I thought it was sharing the link to watch, but I think it was the sharing link to come in. But it's all good.
Oh,
The more the merrier.
Yeah, 'cause I'm sure. Like I thought you were doing a test run. I had showed up. I'm in the show. Goddamn! Like, you should have sent a warning. You know what I'm saying? I'm running around the house. I was actually laying in the bed. Then when I seen it on
Right.
screen, I jumped up real quick. Like, hold on.
He's my partner, man. He got my back on everything I do. He always show up.
Yes, sir. Every
well,
time.
welcome to Connecting with Amber D.
All right, Amber. It's a pleasure to meet you, Queen.
Well,
I
it's nice.
appreciate the informal invite. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. We gonna run with it. Rest in peace, King Nip.
Nip
Yes.
all day.
R.I.P. Nip.
So
Yeah.
So,
Quez,
so the conversation is about is communication enough
Yes.
in a relationship?
Yes.
No,
Exactly.
mm,
We
would you
all
like to
agree on that.
elaborate?
no. Quick and to the point. No.
You want to elaborate a little bit more?
Well, the reason I say no is because a lot of people you can talk all day. You can say whatever you want. You may be an effective communicator and still be lying. You know what I mean? So communication is not enough because there has to be some type of understanding and mutual respect on both parties.
Agree.
To get to that common goal. And you definitely have to make some sacrifices. So there's always going to be a sacrifice in a relationship setting. You definitely have to have that.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I was sharing one of my stories, and yeah, it was like there's communication, but there was no follow through, no truth, because there was stuff that he just would not share. We lost
Yeah,
third, but there was stuff that he just would not share. I'm just talking, trying to fix the relationship, letting him know what I need, what's lacking, asking what does he need, what does he feel is lacking, but no follow through. Nothing came behind it. It was just me constantly saying, let's talk, and him saying, oh, yeah, I get it. But I finally said, okay, obviously you don't, and I'm out because I'm not about to convince you or beg you to change or fix things or what. Well, not change. I don't like that word because I don't believe in changing anyone, but I believe that two people do need to adjust
and evolve.
to
Yeah.
exactly, exactly,
Hmm.
just to fit and yeah, evolve into one, especially if you're talking marriage.
Definitely. That's definitely a big step, man. And I think I'm glad you corrected that because a lot of people. Sorry, I'm moving around. I wasn't ready, but I'm gonna hit the garage. You know what I'm saying? The kids got downstairs sewed up, but a lot of people they go into relationships trying to change somebody.
Mm-hmm.
To make them fit their needs, and that's not how that works. You end up becoming a combative force, and
Right.
I think typically with men, when we feel like you try to change us, we kind of shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't give you no more ammunition, so to speak.
Yeah.
It is, not all men, but I'm just saying some men. So we- there we go. All right, hands free mode.
Right.
There we go. I can sit still. But no, I think a lot of people come in with their self on their mind in relationships and what it's going to take to make them happy, uh, and getting the other person to buy into that concept. Like, if we're going to work, you have to do this to make me happy. When initially, I think Will Smith said it. I can't make you happy. You have to be happy regardless. Nothing I
Right.
do is going create that environment for you. I'm supposed to be in addition to, not the supreme being of your happiness. And it's never gonna work if that's how you're looking at me. You're never gonna be satisfied, no matter what. So, like I said, I think a lot of people come in with this notion like, uh, if this is gonna work, this is what you're gonna have to do for me to be happy. And
I
Right.
that's
agree.
it's not how relationships work.
I agree. Like
Right.
I was telling Amber a little bit earlier, is that I think a lot of people refuse to be honest with themselves, and then they walk in with these false pretenses or high
Mhm.
expectations or certain things. But then again, there's a lot of finger pointing as opposed to looking at inner self. Like, what are some things within me that I need to fix, that I need to work on? How can I be a better lover to my partner over here? How can I work on my communication over here? Am I being patient? Am I being kind? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of stuff that we overlook within ourselves because we see the exterior of what's going on within this person, but we never take the time to actually know what's actually going on with them in the inside.
Right. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of people are scared to be alone.
That part.
So you sacrifice a lot of your morals, ethics, and values because you're more afraid to be alone than to be in a productive situation, which is
Mhm.
kind of backwards.
Right.
Right.
A lot of people don't want to take that time because self-reflection is hard. It really is. You got to deal with some demons that you got,
Mhm.
and you can't blame it on nobody. So, that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people is the self-reflection of my life is messed up because of me. It
Mhm.
doesn't have to do with anybody else, mom, dad, cousins, situations. You have to come to a point in life where the issue is you, and you got to deal with that wholeheartedly before you can ever be in a better situation, relationship, friendship, whatever the case may be. You got to deal with you. So I
Right.
think a lot of people are scared to do that.
Right.
Right. And that's absolutely true because I'm a life coach and I do programs with people.
Hmm.
So when people are coming out of different relationships or whatever, if they've been single for a long time and they're ready to get back in dating, that's part of the program. I take them through learning how to self reflect, look over all their past relationships, look over the things they want, but they got to look at self first, and I take them through a whole 7 week program. They have to look at themselves, they have to do work within themselves because until you know yourself, until you know who you are, you won't know what it is you want, what it is you're really looking for. Because people, like you said, they'll go out there scared to be alone, or they don't want to be alone, or whatever. They just latch on to the first person, and then things start going bad. And oh, I'm just going to ignore that. I'm just going to ignore that, and they hold on, until they have to let go or the person finally lets go of them. But yeah, self-reflection, knowing self, loving self, and being in love with self first so that you can go and give that love to somebody else and teach that person how to love you also is key. You got to do all that. You got to take those steps before jumping into something.
Definitely. It's funny.
Yeah.
I'm working on becoming a life coach too, man, or
Oh yeah.
business coach. Yeah, I didn't order my NLP course and all that. It's funny.
Yeah.
I just said that on Friday. Like that's my goal for this year is to jump into that. So
Yeah.
congrats, sis. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. That's a big deal. People
Yes.
need the help.
Yes, yes. And then too, it also makes me think because a lot of people they don't want to talk about things too soon when they meet a person. But then
Mhm.
once you start getting up there in age, I'm sure. So at my age, I'm like, forget that. Let's lay it out all out on the table.
Put everything on the table, huh?
Yeah, what are your demons? What do you want? What do you don't want? What do you like? What do you not like? I want to
Yeah,
talk about everything important, not important, whatever. If that scares somebody away, then they're not ready. So I rather than walk away on the first date because they think I'm asking too much or trying to know too much too soon. Because
See,
I
I've been
stopped
doing
thinking.
that back in my 20s.
Yeah,
So, because
man.
we had a comment earlier, saying about dating younger dudes, whatever, but I was on that kick from the gate. You know what I'm saying? Like you're either gonna like me or you're not gonna like me. So we don't even have to waste each other's time because I
Right.
don't want to sit here having to try to figure things out or wait for things to twist and turns. Let's just get it all out on the table now. So if we want to
Mhm.
deal with each other, we can. If we don't, then we don't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've
Because
been away for a long time too. Just like let's oh well.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Too many people. They're like, oh, should I ask if they want kids? And hell yeah, you need to know that from the jump. Because I'll tell somebody from the gate. Hi, my name is so and so. Hi, I'm Amber. I ain't trying to have no kids. You want kids?
Time
You still
out.
trying to
First
have
things
kids?
first. You gotta ask yourself, or you gotta ask the person, or you gotta know within yourself how serious this is about to be. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
again, you we're grown ups here. So especially as dudes, you could just be looking just to get the booty. You know what I'm saying? Females could be looking just to get the booty. You know what I'm saying? But if you have one that's looking for something more, as opposed to someone who's just looking for something in the moment, you're already off balance. So
yeah,
the whole conversation about kids and where your life goes and all this stuff, if you're just trying to get through the night or the next couple of times, whatever, that stuff's irrelevant. But if you're trying to
Yeah,
build something, then you definitely need to have that conversation before you go any step further.
yeah. But only problem is people aren't honest. They're not honest.
True.
Like people will come in saying, "Oh no, I'm trying to, I'm looking for wife. I'm looking for, the person I want to spend the rest of my life with." Okay, well, let's have this conversation. But then turns out they're not looking for that.
Right.
They looking
I
to
think conversation can lead to real direct answers. Yeah, you can only fake for so long, to
hmm
be honest. So
yeah,
yeah, the truth gonna reveal itself very early on with the type of questioning. Like if you sure in yourself, in any situation, not even just relationships, but if you sure in yourself and you're talking to someone, you can tell whether they're being disingenuous,
yeah,
with their responses. You can genuinely tell if you sure, but you got to be sure in yourself. If you weren't sure, then it may feel like, oh, okay, this might work. But when you know what your goals are, what your aspirations are in life, and somebody give you an answer, you're like, hold on, that kind of don't go together.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
I'm looking for wifey, but let's just see how it goes. Or, you know what I mean? Let's,
yeah,
take it a step at a time. Those are keywords that like, oh, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
what you mean? Let's see how it goes. And,
Right.
right now I'm not committed to anything. Those key phrases come out in that conversation, but a lot of people ignore that because they heard, oh yeah, I'm looking for wifey, and then you forget everything else that they say after that because he answered your question directly, but indirectly he also answered your question saying that well, I'm doing my thing right now. You know what I'm saying? So let's see how this work out, and we'll take it a step at a time. No, no, if you're gonna look for wifey and you feel like that's the person, like directly, you can be like, nah, I'm rocking with this. Like, so let's what's the goal here? What are we gonna do? How do we get from A to B?
yeah,
'Cause that's how I was with my wife. I was look, we finna be together. So what you gonna
yeah,
do? You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing from this point? Because I'm rocking with you. So let me
yeah.
know if there's something else.
Yeah, you hit the keywords that I run from when people say, "Oh, let's see how this goes." I'm like, skirt, I'm gone.
Mhm.
Because my last relationship, it was someone that I had known, and we hadn't seen each other for probably about 7 or 8 years. We get back into contact. Hey, how you been? Where you going? What's going on? And he's like, look, I let you go once. I'm locking you down now. I'm making you my woman. So I was like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. No, I ain't got no questions to ask, on that level. But yeah, yeah, that I don't go for that. Oh, let's just see how I'm just seeing how thing goes. Well, you're gonna see me go.
And that's what it should be. Honestly, that's what it should be. My friends say all the time, you only get two chances at life. And my response to him every time is, no, you don't. So time is precious. I can make some more money. I can find another job. I could be in another relationship. One thing I can't ever get back is my time. So
Right,
I'm not here to
right.
waste it. And especially the older you get, time is more valuable.
Time and
Me and my
money
brother play
waste.
around. I got 16 hot summers left. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's our inside joke. I got 16 hot summers left. After that, it's a wrap. Like everything's up in the air after that. You know what I mean? Like I got more life that I've lived behind me than I feel like I do ahead of me. So my goals reflect that because I have to work extraneously hard and to achieve them, I don't have time to play with nobody. So if you're in the way, you out the way quick. That's how I feel about
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. Cause yeah, I don't let people stand in my way for
it.
no periods of time. Not
Yeah,
anymore. Mhm.
definitely.
Either.
And this is dope though. This little platform is dope, man.
This is
Outside of the flowers and stuff, I thought it was me, but I see it's on everybody. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I was like, I need a little border. I put a little border. But yeah, I go on to Restream in order to shoot this to my YouTube because with
Mm,
YouTube you can go on by yourself, but you can't bring in anybody else like with
Right.
Facebook or other forms. So I have to do it
Hold up.
through
Uh,
Restream. So this is on my YouTube channel right now
Ferdinand
live.
Clumps says those are good points. Would y'all stay in a relationship if the other person only wanted to do it in a missionary position? I had that situation.
where you seeing these comments at? I want to see.
You
Oh,
gotta
there
hit
we go.
the chat. Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
I see it. I see it.
I would not. I've run from a relationship like that. You have to be happy in every area. You can't, you know.
That's a big area.
And you know what? Actually, yeah, this is here's a
Big,
fun story.
big area. Let's get
So
back.
uh, I was I ran to go have lunch one day. When I was working, stopped at Del Taco to grab a quick bite to eat, and saw a good looking gentleman there. So I threw my business card down on the table. He called me. We talked for a little bit on the or no, we had text that day. And then I think my birthday was 2 days later. So he wanted to take me out to lunch. So I was like, okay, cool, little birthday lunch. So he took me out to lunch and he told me, you know what, I have to confess I'm married. And I was like, oh yeah, nah, bro. I don't do that. So he started, just talking to me and telling me that his wife, they've been together over 20 something years, and she felt guilty to enjoy sex, to have an orgasm, to enjoy sex. It was guilty. So all she wanted to do was missionary. And I'm like, for 20 something years, that's all you've been doing. So that's why you know, I slid in my number that tempted him to want to talk to me. But yeah, he was willing to step out of his relationship. He said, I would never leave my wife. I love her. We have kids together. We have a wonderful life together. But this is the only area where I'm unhappy. That was about to drive him to cheat. And I've left relationships for that simple
So playing
fact.
advocate. You know what I'm saying? So like I tell you, like I do on our show.
It's his
So
favorite
my thing
word.
is, so we're in the vein of talking about communication. Did
I'm
he
on live.
communicate this with his wife? You understand what I'm
Exactly.
saying? The ill
Exactly.
thing about it is, and this is one thing that I learned where I effed up on before, is that when you have a problem with your spouse, you got to go talk to your spouse. You don't talk to anybody outside of that unless you're speaking like some type of therapy or some type of help. Because again,
Mm,
this is something that he could be relaying to her. This is how I
Hmm.
feel this way. Then if they come to that mutual agreement to if she allows him to do that, then that's cool. But how do you say that you genuinely love somebody and at the slightest thing where a number is being slid and you slipping out? And
Yeah.
see, I
Yeah.
think that's the one thing that people misconstrue about love is that they think it's just something that you say and blah blah blah. No, no, no. Love is something that you do. You
Right.
yeah,
understand
Right.
what I'm saying?
practice it. Yeah.
It's something that you do. Because
Yeah.
saying you love somebody without actually loving somebody is just words without action.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, nah, you definitely got a valid point there because it is easy. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to step out than it is to fix the problem at home. It
Exactly.
always is. It's designed that way. That's why a lot of relationships don't last because there's so many temptations. And look, I live in Atlanta, and believe you me, it's a whole lot going on out here. You know what I mean? And I done been pushed up on and all kind of like it's hard. Hey, believe you me, it's a hey, hold on. You show it dragging that wagon, you know what I'm saying?
I
But
know about her
you
age. I know
know what I'm
about
saying?
her age.
Hey, cool.
I had some
Hey,
good
stay
times
strong, my
at
brother.
that
Yeah,
age.
yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
stay strong, my brother. It be some stuff going on. And out here they real adamant about pressing the issue. Like they own you. Like, nah, I like you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Remember that episode of the Bulldogs? I like you. I want you. So we can do this the easy way or the hard. Like they be on some of that type of energy, and you be like, I just said I was married. Hold on, like back up. It be it, but you got it's a lot harder, but more beneficial to grind that out. You know what I'm saying? Because I can easily step out too. You know what I'm saying? Look at this sexual chocolate, everybody. You know, but you know, and you got to outweigh
I'm
the
I'm gonna
risk.
be I'm gonna piggyback that off that a little bit more. I think it's a lot easier to leave these days than it is to
Hmm.
actually stay and work things out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like
Definitely.
my thing is, I'm not one of these dudes that are corny. That 1 minute, oh, I'm in love with you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Then the next thing you know, because you do something that make me mad, or you're not necessarily doing something to my liking, then all of a sudden I just stop loving you or I stop caring or whatever like that. I think that's
Hmm.
corny. So my thing is when people, men and women, when they do that with each other, then there wasn't no love there in the beginning because now you made your love conditional. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things I have to learn, especially within marriage, is that you take a covenant. This isn't a love contract where you sign it on the dotted line and do that. This is a love covenant that you're. This is a covenant, a blood covenant that you're making between God, yourself, and this one person that you're marrying. And I think a
Hmm.
lot of reason why a lot of these relationships don't work is because they come in with this mind state of a contract as opposed to actually a covenant. And at the end of the day, what I'm saying, like you have to be able to stay there to work it out, minus the abuse, because I understand like you don't want to stay in a toxic situation where you're getting abused, physically, mentally, and
Right.
emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Because you start to lose yourself, and it could be potentially deadly, and even
Mhm.
cheating. You get what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
I think it's a lot easier these days just for people just to walk away. But I would say that it's easy to walk away if you're in a relationship and you're before you start to get to that next level of talking about marriage or commitment for the rest of your life. Then yes, it's easier to walk away if this person isn't fulfilling or sustaining you in the area that you feel that you need.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it's convenience. It's
Yeah.
just convenient.
And I'm a runner. I'm a runner. And that's one thing. Like
She's a runner. She's a track star.
right now, I'm taking time to, for self. I'm doing my self work because I said the next relationship I get into, that it's got to be it. That's got to be the last. So I'm working on not being that runner and working on moving slow because I rush in, a lot, and I see that has left me nowhere. So, yeah, just taking the time to get to know somebody, making sure I do all the communication work, the proper communication work, doing my part, and listening too, so I could hear the key words like you were talking about. Hear making sure everything matches up because I'm not trying to run anymore. I'm trying to sit my ass down and stay seated.
Well,
For
I
sure.
think it's a lot harder for women because you guys are emotionally driven,
Mhm.
and it's a more of an like men can get into a relationship and really not care about that individual and just kind of be there because it's something to do.
Mhm.
But with women, you guys tie everything. Like you guys are naturally nurturing. You
Yeah.
some women may even look at men as a project. Like I gotta save him. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't help him, nobody else will. A lot of women get trapped into that as well. Um, and I think for women, you guys have to learn to take a step back away from the emotionally driven side of it and kind of lean more towards the logical side of, yeah, this may be a good individual. He may just need some help, but is he willing to help himself? Is he willing to go out there and do the things necessary for this to work?
Yep.
A lot of women skip that part. Like,
Yeah.
no, I know he's going through some things, but because I love him, I'm gonna stick and stay, and I'm gonna drag myself down into the mud as well in terms of my financial stability, my living situation. Like I'm gonna go through all these hurdles and pitfalls with somebody who may not even be trying to adjust their life in that manner because they happy where they are, you know. And
Right.
I think that's more of a female thing. Dudes be like, oh yeah, she tripping. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool on that. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do none of that. Like women, it takes y'all a little bit longer to let go of that. It's that maternal instinct. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I gotta help. I gotta make sure. I like, no, you don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. I've had so many projects in my life that I'm like, no more. You come whole or don't come at all.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then,
I don't know. I mean, I think life teaches you lessons. You get what I'm saying? And the best teacher is life and experience. And one of the things I could say when you were talking about earlier about how your ex dude, he shut down, and I can kind of relate because I was like that within my marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't really open to communication, or at least communicating like the hurt I was feeling,
mhm.
some of the insecurities that I had, some of the fear, some of the emotion that I had. I kept it locked in because we as men, especially black men, are taught that we got to be strong, we got to be a rock, we can't really show too much emotion. So you
we
know,
gotta die
um,
in silence.
yeah, you got to
Yeah,
die in silence. You know what I'm saying? But the ill thing about it is what happens when that rock begins to crumble. You know what I'm saying? And when you start to slowly crumble, what I mean, you start to lose things and people around you, and more importantly, you start to lose yourself because you're not dealing with things the proper way. So that's what I was saying. Like with old dude, is that there could have been like a lot of internal stuff going on with him. He just didn't share to communicate, which again on your part is unfair because you were thirsty for that communication. You were itching for it, and he deprived you of that.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I can say with me and my ex when we actually finally sat down and had a talk. After I don't know how many some years. Saying she was like, well, I felt like you were doing this, and I had the chance to explain and blah blah blah. We went back and forth, and we were just figuring out like, oh, it was a lot of misunderstanding. Saying like she thought because something I was doing and I thought because she was doing it, just the communication was just off. So to further elaborate on your the subject that we're talking about, I do believe that communication is definitely key. What I'm saying? That you have to have some type of communication in order to have an effective relationship. Because if
Yeah.
not, then it's not going to grow.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
feel,
definitely a big part. Yeah, you got to be able to communicate effectively.
yeah. And I feel like communication is like, you know, on the paper, you got communication in big bold letters, and then you got the little bulletins under it. It's like it's not just communication, but it's communication and follow through, communication and, revisiting the conversation, communication and, you know, the action
Mhm.
behind it. So it's like it is a big part of the relationship and making the relationship grow and go, but there's also the little, bullet points, or the is it not bullet points, that's the wrong word, but the little, things that come with it.
Subcontext, yeah, the
Yeah.
subcontext.
Yeah, exactly.
The communication would be the main context, but the subcontext in there, those smaller
Mhm.
things that you got to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Um, it's just a lot of people don't realize it's the small things that keep it going. You know what I mean? It's the small things that make it work. Yes, we be happy. I can earn 6 figures, 7 figures. Um, I can get you everything you want, but it'd be those smaller things. Because sometimes communication is not the main goal. Sometimes lifestyle may be there. And in the subcontext, you got communication, childbearing, agreeing on religion, things like all that may be underneath. So it no matter what you place at the top, there's always going to be that subcontext that you got to pay attention. Those are the things you have to do day in and day out to make the big context work.
Hmm.
There's always going to be, no matter what you got up there, the smaller things is what's going to keep that big context in place. When you
Right.
start skipping some of these things, that's where your issues come from. Mhm.
Absolutely.
Agree.
Absolutely.
I ain't no relationship guru though, but I'm just, you know, I did this sometimes. You'll say a couple times.
Right, right.
But you married, so you know you working on it every day.
Hey,
It's a
you have
You
yeah,
to.
have to work on it
yeah,
every single day.
My
yeah.
wife
Like I
still get
said
mad at me.
before, man.
She be mad. She, you know what I mean? She probably gonna say something because I got out the bed and came down here. You understand? But we gonna be strong. I'm telling you, it's all for the greater good.
Yeah.
But we gonna talk about it. We definitely gonna talk about it because she gonna say
Right.
something.
Oh yeah. You done jumped up and ran off.
You just jumped out the bed and ran downstairs and
Tell the
yeah,
queen
baby,
I
it's work call. You
apologize. I
understand? This is work.
apologize. I'm still
This is
learning
life
all this
mission,
stuff,
man.
so
You know, life mission is to get the message out and be helpful wherever I can. You know what I'm saying? So my brother called on me, man. I'm no matter what, I'm jumping up. You know what I'm saying? And I know they'll
I
do the
appreciate
same
it.
for me. Them the only people I do that for.
Right.
Yeah.
I would definitely
You
do the
know,
same. Just as I'm saying, tell the queen I apologize. I'm trying to
oh,
figure
she'll
things
be
out,
strong.
pressing this button and yeah,
I'm
they
gonna
do
blame it on
things,
you,
man.
but she'll be strong. I'm like,
Don't blame it on me.
I didn't know nothing about it. Ed sent me a link. I'm like, oh, I thought I was gonna watch something. I end up being on there, you know. So
Right.
you and Third can talk about that later. Yes, inbox him. Inbox him, please. I'm tired.
Is there any is there any comments on YouTube? I can't really see it. Or anybody else got any
No,
comments
I
or
haven't seen
questions?
nobody else comment as of late.
Yeah, that's it. See, there's a
I,
couple
I like
viewers.
this. It shows you can stream to Facebook and all that good stuff. Yeah, I like that.
I tried. That's what, when you saw me freezing and I had to go out. That's what I was trying to do. It just wouldn't let me. I think I'm gonna have to try to play with it a little bit more because I definitely think that if we have people streaming on the live on Facebook, yeah, they definitely would have jumped in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So if anybody has any more comments, um, or if y'all have, let me see. Let me look on. Try and look on Facebook real quick, see if I see anything. Let's see. I don't know if it's going through. No, it's not showing like live. I think it's just showing the. No, you put the YouTube link. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You did do the stream. Join the stream. Okay. Yeah, it's not airing on there, but yeah, if any, well, I don't know. That's it. No more comments. I don't know. Does anybody else have more to add to it? Because I normally just stay on. I know your shows be going. I
Hey,
normally just
we working on it. So like we try to go on. We go on with the mind state. We're gonna go on for an hour, but then
yeah.
sometimes it become a thing where people be talking and then it goes into
I ain't
this and
never been
then
on there for no hour. Not never.
man, I tried. I'll be like, okay, let's, what I'm saying? Like, well, what if we talk? Next thing you know, it just goes on and on and on. But
Yeah,
it's the spirit of it, I guess. Some people they
Yeah,
feel
that's the
comfortable,
beauty of it, man. You
right?
get so many different viewpoints, man,
mm,
and you gotta reflect on them all. You know, you want to give
Right.
everybody their fair shake, and that's why I do it because I love it. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy last night. Um, I was with one of my partners. You know, it's his daughter's birthday or whatever. So his woman or family came over. I had to bust out my DNA results. You know what I mean? Because they got into that whole conversation of how
oh,
everybody is indigenous to America. All the black people here are indigenous. I said, hold on, man. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? But like we got into it. You know what I mean? So I from being on the show with Third, like I was able to produce results. Like I,
yeah,
I had that same sentiment to a certain degree because I know certain members of my family are, but you know, the DNA don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Say I'm
Don't lie.
84% sub-Saharan African, so I can't be indigenous. You know what I mean? I would have had to come over here by some form or fashion, whether it had been slavery or free trade or whatever the case may be. And then, we got into a whole thing about Olmec and you know what I'm saying, the Aztec culture and all that, all to lead to you don't really have an answer. But I got my results. So what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a
I
good
do.
it's a good thing to be able to pull that up. Like, no,
Yeah.
look right here. This
Yeah.
me.
Check facts.
You know, where yours at? You ain't got nothing. Oh man, well, when you get that,
So
then
if you
come
want to
back. We'll
shut what we
reconvene.
call the hell up, then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
we'll reconvene when you get your results.
exactly.
Yeah, I genuinely keep it about an hour. If I'm by myself, I try and keep it 15, 20 minutes. But yeah.
Nah, that's good practice, man. I
We in the
like
after
this.
party. I'm just
Thank you.
Nah, I like this. This is dope though. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
like this.
this was definitely dope. It was definitely an experience. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna work out the fine bugs and the fine tune. And I don't like the
Mm.
echoing that I'm hearing, so I just have to kind of learn how to ignore it, turn some things down. But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, it's pretty dope.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I thank you both for jumping in, even though it was accident, but I do appreciate y'all for being here. And I'm here every Sunday, 7 p.m. I will not be next week because Super Bowl. Who
Oh,
There
y'all
you
root?
go. I think Philly
what
gonna
you?
win. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, I
I know,
think
I
Philly's
know
gonna win,
Amber.
but I'm rooting for Mahomes. I'm not rooting for any teams because
I know Amber. You're a Packer, so I wanted to
yes,
know your take on this one.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I'm a Packers fan to the death, but just
yes.
just knowing football, I think Philly gonna win. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know. I went to the Philly Packers game in November, so I
Yeah,
really
Mm,
do think Philly's gonna win because they're hungry. They want it.
yeah.
they are
They
Squad,
want it. But I'm rooting for
squad.
Mahomes. I'm a Mahomes fan. I love him, so that's who I'm rooting for. I
well,
don't
the
care about
regular
his team.
AB will
I care
not
about him.
allow myself to ever go for Mahomes unless he's playing for playing against the Chargers. You know, or Brady. You know what I'm saying?
You're
So
a certified Charger hater, huh?
I stay a Charger hater. I was born to hate the Chargers. So
Wow.
I lend my support. I endorse my support to the Philly Eagles. I want to see what they're going to do.
Man, I
Yeah,
want
I think it's an introduction into a new era, man. It's
Right.
I think Philly got a good chance of winning that thing, and they got the squad to do it
Two
and the
bad
defense
quarterbacks
to
going
do
head
it.
to head. This is gonna be an interesting Super Bowl.
it
I
is.
well, I think it's gonna be a blowout, to be honest.
Yeah, I gotta find a
Mm.
Super Bowl party to go to. So anybody.
If you come out here to Atlanta, man, we gonna turn up out this way.
Man, all
I
right,
shall
let me
let
book
you
my
know,
flight.
baby. Right. Well, I'm right down the freeway, so
Right.
we'll see what's popping.
Yeah, we gonna have fun out here.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Well, I appreciate you, Amber. What you got going on?
thank you. And then you guys please leave your outro and then let everybody know where to find you if you want to be found. And then if anybody is ever interested on coming on, guest hosting, I talk about everything under the sun from relationships to self-love, self-work. I am looking for other cancer survivors to come on with me to discuss their journey because I did not realize there is a journey after the journey, after the journey, after the journey. So I'm looking for more cancer survivors to come on with me so we can discuss our journeys. Um, so yeah, I discuss anything under the sun. So if anybody ever wants to come on, hit me up at zenobiuspath@gmail.com. It will be in the description. My webpage is zenobiuspath.us. So that's that. And oh, I'm
What
sorry.
you got,
You
Queen?
guys go ahead. Yeah, so
Go ahead, Queen.
gentlemen.
Your question,
Uh
please.
oh, oh no, we're good. I say I'm blinking.
No, I couldn't. Yeah, I was just listening. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know she was done, man. Trying to get a clean her platform. Nah, I'm always simple, man. Enlightened Nights Miller on Facebook. Marquez Miller or Quez Miller on all of the social platforms. Business strategist, helping people design their life to get generational wealth, travel, professional. We get you their vacations on Facebook, and Instagram. So you can reach me there. Soon I'll be adding that monolith of life coach because I'm definitely feeling like I need to grab that. So that's my goal for this year. I've already signed up for some programs and stuff, so I'm gonna work that out. But outside of that, man, I'm good. I mean, I'm here for the cause, man. If you need help, I'm here to help. And if you need support, I'm always supporting, man. That's what I do for my people. Princess Zamunda.
Well, you can catch me from Third Degree, King3rd.net. Um, on YouTube, I'm King3RDD. Uh, Facebook, you catch me at Edward William Wilson or Third Degree, 3R Degree. You can check us out on Fridays. We host our Drop Your 3 Cent podcast. We're gonna be bringing some platforms near you, working on big working on some big things. So you can always catch me. You can catch me in traffic, catch me outside. Any single ladies out there, if you want to waste some time, I'm just
Oh,
on
the single
Saturday.
ladies. Hey, wait. Look, and look what I still got.
Oh,
Hey, hey, there you go.
hey.
What's that for promotion right
Get your
there?
merch.
Yeah,
Get your merch.
King3rd.net for the merch. I man love Amber. Yeah, I still got that picture of you in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's a beautiful thing.
Yes. So
Well,
thank you guys again for joining me. I appreciate having you on. Anytime you ever want to jump back on, every Sunday, except Super Bowl Sunday, 7
right.
p.m.
I'll be
Pacific
back.
Standard
I'll be back.
Time.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm definitely gonna check you out, man. This was fun, and
I'll
I
be back.
appreciate it. Yeah, I
Yes,
definitely
Much love
appreciate
to
it.
you.
thank you so much. So much love, everybody. Everybody go love, life, and balance. Be
What you do.
blessed. And I'll put everything in the description box. So yeah, inbox me your info so I could put it in
Got
all
you.
in the description box. Getting tongue tied here. All right, yeah. So all right, well,
All
good
right.
night, and thank you guys
Good
for
night.
joining.
No
All
problem.
right, Queen. Y'all have a good one,
You
my
too.
brother.
Be blessed.